Welcome to our journey through the Bible. Today we're diving into the book of Genesis, the very first book in the Bible and the foundation of everything that follows. The word Genesis means beginning, and this book truly is about beginnings. The creation of the world, the origin of humanity, the entrance of sin, and the first steps of God's redemptive plan for mankind. It opens with the powerful declaration, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." Nothing existed, no light, no time, no people, just God. And through His word He spoke everything into existence. Light and darkness, sky and sea, land, plants, stars, animals, and finally human beings. He formed Adam from the dust and breathed life into him. Then to give him a companion, God made Eve from Adam's side. God placed them in the Garden of Eden, a perfect paradise. They had everything they needed and God walked with them. There was just one rule. They must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Then comes the serpent, crafty and deceptive. He approaches Eve with a subtle question. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? He twists God's words, planting doubt. He lies, saying, "You will not surely die. You'll be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve listens, she eats the fruit. Adam, who was with her, also eats. In that moment, everything changes. Sin enters, shame follows. They hide from God. When God asks, "Where are you?" it isn't because He doesn't know, it's an invitation to return, to confess. But instead of repenting, they shift the blame. Adam blames Eve, Eve blames the serpent. Because of their disobedience, they are sent out of the garden, no longer able to live in that perfect place. But life goes on. Outside the garden, Adam and Eve start a family. They have children, and their descendants begin to multiply and spread across the earth. Yet the impact of that first sin carries through each generation, a broken world marked by struggle, pain, and the need for redemption. Sin continues to spread. Adam and Eve's son Cain becomes jealous and kills his brother Abel. Violence fills the earth. But one man, Noah, finds favor in God's eyes. God tells him to build a massive ark. When the flood comes, only Noah, his family, and the animals on the ark are saved. After the flood, God makes a covenant with Noah, promising never to destroy the earth by water again. He places a rainbow in the sky as a reminder. But humanity continues in pride. They try to build a tower to the heavens, the Tower of Babel, to make a name for themselves. God confuses their language and they scatter. Then the story zooms in on one man, Abram. God calls him and promises to make him the father of a great nation. Abram believes, even though he and his wife Sarah are old and childless. God makes a covenant with him, changes his name to Abraham, and promises him descendants as numerous as the stars. Abraham has a son named Isaac, who has twin sons, Jacob and Esau. Jacob, through struggle and transformation, becomes the next bearer of the promise. He even wrestles with God and is renamed Israel. Jacob has 12 sons. One of them, Joseph, is his favorite, and his brothers become jealous. They sell Joseph into slavery in Egypt. Egypt at this time was ruled by Pharaoh, the king who had absolute power over the land and its people. Pharaoh's court was a place of great authority. Despite being sold into slavery and later wrongly imprisoned, Joseph's ability to interpret dreams brings him to Pharaoh's attention. When Pharaoh has troubling dreams about upcoming famine and plenty, Joseph interprets them and offers wise counsel. Impressed, Pharaoh appoints Joseph as second in command over Egypt, responsible for storing grain and preparing for the famine. When the famine strikes, Joseph's brothers come to Egypt seeking food, unaware that Joseph is the one helping them. In a moving reunion, Joseph reveals himself. Instead of revenge, he forgives them, saying, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Joseph then brings his whole family to live in Egypt, setting the stage for the story of Exodus, where God will later deliver His people from slavery. Lessons from Genesis. The serpent tempted Eve with lies but didn't force her. She chose to listen, showing our responsibility to choose between God's truth and deception. Genesis reveals God as creator and faithful covenant keeper, showing that despite humanity's repeated failures, God remains faithful. It also shows God speaks not only to create but to relate, calling us to come out of hiding with His question, "Where are you?" Genesis teaches that our beginnings matter, and even broken starts can lead to beautiful stories through God. Thanks for joining this journey through Genesis. Next, we'll explore Exodus, where God delivers His people and reveals His power.